Addycon
Mm.
says, comment on the passionate and timeless Rex bro. That clip is one of the
Mm.
all-time most viewed clips on like OSR. I've
Yeah.
It's just funny how something so simple as an overreaction to a pet could just go so viral.
A lot of people ask me, even to this day, was that reaction genuine or was it fake? Hand on my heart, it's how I felt at the time. I don't think I could ever react like that again. I don't know what overcome me that day. I think I was fucking possessed, baby. But I have no idea. I'm bipolar at the end
Oh
of the
my
day. Stuff
god.
happens, you
Yeah,
know?
no, it was,
Moods levitate sometimes.
I have clips where I've seen myself react to something. I'm like, holy hell, I gotta
Yeah.
calm down. Like that is so cringe. But I actually was
Yeah.
laughing my ass off when I first watched that clip. I remember.
I mean, when someone forces me to watch it, I'm in agony. But but at the end of the day, it brought a lot of joy to people's lives, and it's a famous meme in RuneScape. I can't complain.
Oh my god.
I can't complain, man. It's iconic, isn't it? Dare I say?
Okay, so off topic. Do you have a YouTube?
No. Well, I do, but it's not really active.
Do you ever plan to make YouTube?
No, I doubt it. I focus all of my energy into streaming.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not really my cup of tea, baby.
Yeah, no, that's
YouTube can't really be compared to Twitch. I'm not saying you're comparing it, but they're very different worlds.
oh,
YouTube is
absolutely.
all about editing and planning and whatnot. Twitch is all about here and now.
Yeah.
That's what I prefer.
I was gonna say, I've always enjoyed your
Yeah.
stories, your stories on whenever I can catch a live stream, and I think you're one of like the best storytellers. You are a very smooth talker, and I'm very envious of it. I'm not gonna lie. I
Yeah.
struggle
I'm
with
like,
I'm a podcast host at this point, and yet I still struggle so much with enunciating and just trying to get my points across, and so I've always been
I
very
didn't even
envious.
know. I had no idea that I was a good storyteller until I became a streamer. I
I
had no
was
idea.
I was gonna say I think what would be really cool is if you did make, because something I do is
Mm,
I just make little rambles, very simple, no editing involved, just record
mm.
something and just talk. And so personally, I would love it. I'd be an absolute fan if you were to make YouTube and just share how you're feeling about the game, what you're doing, just little progress things, 10 minutes of just you talking and then upload it. I feel like it could be very popular.
Solid idea. Never say never with me. You never know what's around the corner. But even to this day, baby, people still come into my stream and be like, "Hey, Rig, do you have a story for us? Want to tell us a story?" And I'll always say no when they request one because I like to naturally tell my
Yeah,
stories,
no,
not
it
by
it
request.
it has to be that way. It's got to be
Hmm.
organic.
I can't just be like, "Well, once upon a time," after someone asked me. It has to come out naturally, man.
Maybe like Grandpa Rig in like a few decades when you're still streaming, you could be that guy that's talking about your
Yeah,
younger days.
yeah.
Yeah. I want to kind of talk about Runefest. So
Mm.
I have never been to Runefest. I would absolutely love to go one day. I want to
Well,
hear about your experiences. How many times have you been to Runefest?
I've been to every single one since 2016.
Is that three of them then, or four?
16, 17, 18, 19. Four of them.
Okay.
Four Runefests.
What can you explain? Can you I want to hear it because I'm curious, but I imagine others are curious as well. What is your experience with RuneFest and how, especially as a content creator, did it change for your first year going
Mm.
up until your last year going? The more you got more popular and stuff like that.
Yeah. So, Runefest holds a special place in my heart for a particular reason and a particular story. 2016 is the year I started streaming, baby. And me being a streamer, I thought, wow, I'd like to go Runefest and finally meet all of the streamers and whatnot. And September or so 2016, I went to Runefest. I didn't have much money, didn't even have a hotel booked. As bad as it sounds, I made my way from Nottingham to London, about a 2 hour and a half train journey. And I think at the time I only had about 300 followers, 400 followers. I was still up and coming. Well, I'm still up and coming to this day. And I remember getting there and meeting Boaty and Foe for the first time in Auken and getting pictures with them. I really went to Runefest as a viewer, even though I was a streamer. And it was a great time. I was quite tired. I only had about 2 hours of sleep, and I met many other people. It was a great time. But I remember at the end of Runefest, all of the streamers getting in the van to go back to their hotel, what Jagex paid for. And there's me watching them all drive away in the van about midnight, and I'm stood there with nothing to do after Runefest is coming to an end. And I literally wandered the streets of London all night homeless because I had nowhere to go. And I couldn't afford a place to stay, believe it or not. Yeah, it was crazy. I just paid for my ticket and food, and I made my way back at 8 a.m. the next day back to Nottingham. That was 2016 Runefest, baby.
Holy shit.
On to the next Runefest, 2017.
Okay, yeah.
I was invited by Jagex. I went to 2017 Runefest. I lost count how many people came up to me and wanted things signed, pictures with me, etc. And Jagex paid for my hotel room that year.
That is so
I always
awesome.
think about that when I think of Runefest, how 2016 and 2017 was like day and night, how different they were. 2016 I went as a viewer, and 2017 I finally went as a streamer.
Wow.
At the end of 2017 Runefest, I got in the van with the rest of the streamers back to the hotel, baby.